very special command center because we're out at training camp. I'm here with the best crew in the world. We got everybody here. Mr. 8 to the 9, Santana Moss. Mr. 2 to the 7, he already sweating. Yeah. Fred Smoot.
You're right.
The captain, London Fletcher.
I'm the one got him sweating. He's nervous. He's not used to being around all this greatness.
And speaking of greatness, we got Sean Springs in the building. And, of course, we're missing our guy, the legend Logan Paulson. But he is standing by with Coach right now because, again, we have a very, very special training camp show for y'all. But, fellas, we all know the top story. Jayden Daniels' second year. Jayden Daniels' second NFL training camp. Yep. What are y'all expecting to see from him? We know all eyes will be on him.
I mean, you know, it's year 2 for all these guys, but when you're talking about your quarterback, you're talking about the franchise leader, he's the commander of this team, this offense. I mean, he look apart. I think when you watched him through OTAs, you saw a guy that came in mentally ready, you know, physically ready, and he's the QB. He's showing you, he's saying all the great things. I'm looking for this guy to go out there and uphold everything that people, you know, expect of him, you know, seeing him in this new season or whatever.
Well, the thing about it is, in your second year as a quarterback, everything slows down to you. So now his progressions are going to go a little bit slower for him. Like when he does things, everything he did last year, he finna layer it to another level right now. And you're talking about the same signal caller. Like, so that's the relationship that I'm very excited about. Cliff Kingsbury and JD5 working together the second year. Now he gets to layer that playbook. All right, and Cliffberry, he gets to layer the playbook, but also the thing that happens is now with two new tackles, he don't have to lead tight ends in and chip players and this and that. He gets to open the whole playbook up, and I think that's going to be scary for some defenses out there.
When you guys all think about it, all of us, think about when you went from your first year as a rookie to your second year.
Yeah.
And that jump you made. You hear all this nonsense talking about, hey, JD5 may take a step back in this sophomore season. The majority of us take steps forward because you've had a full offseason to go through training camp, especially at the quarterback position. If you go back and you watch him at that first game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then you fast forward to him against the Buccaneers in the playoff game,
totally
Detroit
different.
Lions on the road, and also even in that Philadelphia game, we didn't play well as an offense, but he played well. So you look at that, the experiences that he gained from a year ago. They're going to be able to involve and develop him even more. They understand what his mental capacity is. Hey, we know these things we can put on his plate. We're going to give him more responsibilities at the line of scrimmage. So I look forward to them even evolving the passing game even more this year, Tanner.
No doubt.
This year, Blue, and really seeing the best of Jayden Daniels.
And when you think about why guys sometimes may go back, because you do overload them and it's a lot on his plate. But you talk about a guy, his attitude towards the way he works, coming in there first in the building, last to leave. And I think when you have that type of mentality, what he did last year, everybody was like, oh, my God, he's like going to be the best quarterback, top 5, and he deserves all those accolades. I think that guy could easily continue to get better because of his personality and the way he decides to work.
Here's something that you guys see him on a regular basis. We saw him on a regular basis. You hear all the stuff, the noise that is around him. He doesn't seem to be phased.
I
was going to say that.
He doesn't care about that. It's all about ball.
It's all about ball.
No, his feet are on the ground.
Not only that, you have a guy too that kind of do everything that he does well in the pocket. You know what I mean? Normally you see guys of his caliber with his skill set. Those guys had a phenomenal first year because they escaped the pocket. No, this guy beat you inside the pocket. And when he had to get outside the pocket, he did that. So that's what I get caught up in, or I try not to get caught up in. You can't dictate what other guys' success went or where did it go because of what they did, because he plays the game differently.
Maturity. If I can say anything about him, he's mature. All right, and now he's matured another year under the same offense. I expect him to take a big leap. And I know a lot of people think he's going to have a sophomore slump. I expect him to have a big leap.
That question I have for all defensive guys on the panel is, how does defense adjust to what they saw?
You can't adjust to it.
How do you
adjust to pinpoint passing in
right.
elite running skills? You can't adjust to it.
The thing that defense, and they say, hey, you got more film on him. Defense is going to study him all offseason. You're studying that version of Jayden. But this current version is going to be even more.
That's right.
It'll have more on the
more
play.
Advanced too.
Some of the more advanced from passing concepts. You look at a lot of their passing concepts. It wasn't that PhD
second level. It wasn't.
Now just start to see the different nuances of the passing game because You got better offensive line, but you also got better playmakers.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, on the
Especially
outside.
especially at the wide
So,
receiver
so keep in
position.
mind the run game should help him out then.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
right. That's right.
And when you got a guy like Jaden Daniels, a lot of things happen. You get great free agency. We just got Von Miller. We're going to be talking about the linebackers a little later. Y'all will be hitting the field. We'll be hitting the field talking more about Jaden Daniels and those receivers. But again, we're missing our guy, the legend, Logan Paulson. He is standing by with our fearless leader, head coach Dan Quinn right now. Logan, it's all you, brother.
Coach, man, I'm ecstatic. Training camp's here. How is this process for you, and how's it getting the guys back in the building?
It's been awesome. We do the first part of camp is rookies,
Okay.
and it's like a jumpstart program. How do we get them ready? So we had, a few days on the field with them, go back through the installs, go back through the system. So when they get to this day, they can really nail it. We wanted to give them every chance that they could go get it. And then last night, and you can remember, just there's an energy coming into a locker room, and then with all the new things that happen in the locker room here, there's good. But there's a vibe of people here that you just enjoy being around. And whether it's in the building, on the field, wherever it is. And competition drives this time of year. It's 5 weeks of competing, but it's also a blast.
And I didn't ask you this ahead of time, but like, how's the locker room, man? I mean, everyone must have been pretty stoked to get that done.
Yeah, and thanks to Josh, they've really got a good setup. Meeting rooms, locker room, all the recovery options for the guys. We just wanted to make sure that every op to go support them, we could do that. And I wanted them to feel that, and they definitely do.
That's fantastic. And then, so in the presser, you mentioned kind of ramping up. Kind of, what do you want to get out of these first couple of days? And for fans at home, like, what is a ramp up? What does that look like?
Ramp up means they've been away for 5 to 6 weeks, so let's hit this step and then hit the next one. So today, 2 days in just helmets. Okay. We'll work a lot in the red zone, Logan, so there's not the really long running to go. The guys did a conditioning test yesterday. Everybody did well on that. Now it's smaller field, go to a longer field. Then we'll get into what's called shells, like some soft shoulder pads. Then you get into the padded work. So you just don't want to miss one step, put any further risk for the guys. Our number one job, man, we got to get them to the season healthy, but it's that razor's line. You got to go battle for it, but you have to be healthy too.
I love that. It's super smart, Coach. Thanks. Good luck today. Can't wait to watch it.
Right on.
Commanders family, here's a live look at practice. Command Center is the only place you get this type of access. And fellas, practice is going on behind us. We can see it right now, but we're in the shade right now. Our guys is out getting to work. Y'all already put that work in, so y'all don't need to be out there swaying. But again, we talked about at the beginning of the show, it's all about JD5, Jaden Daniels, coming into his second year.
Yes.
Now, we got to see him during OTAs. We got to see him in practice. We've seen him up and down this facility a lot.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to see from him in training camp? His second NFL training camp. Tanner, I'm going to start with you.
Nothing special. I think one of the things that I want to just watch this guy mature more than where he's at now. I think when you look at a guy coming to his second year, you hear all the hoopla about, sophomore slump, but it's one of those things about your second year, you're just that much sharper.
Yeah.
You're just that much more ready when it comes to anticipating things.
And comfortable.
And just comfortable, you know what I mean? So I don't expect that much right now. I don't want to see.
Yeah.
He don't have to wow me. You understand? Like, I know he's going to do that eventually, but I just want to see a guy that just, take command of what he's already, has in command and just continue to mature with the offense and with the guys around him.
Cross those T's, dot those I's, go back, look at the film from last year and troubleshoot that film and say, what can I do to get better? All right, yes, he had the best rookie year of any quarterback in the NFL history. He's not satisfied with that.
Yeah.
I've heard him say it on numerous times. I can be so much better, and it's so scary for NFL defenses because he's already a pinpoint passer. Yeah. He's already electric when he takes off outside the pocket. Now, can he take it to the third level and say, you know what? Now I'm running to pass. All right, now I have the ability to pass. I have the ability to run. But now I'm going to take it to the Patrick Mahomes level, and I have the ability to run, to pass, and to really break down a defense. Think about this if you're a defense. What are you going to do against him, Tanner? Are you going to play zone? You have to play zone because you have to keep all 11 people looking at him. He understands this now. Most time when I see people, they're going to play me in zone or they're going to zone blitz me. They will never play me in man-to-man because they don't want the DBs to turn their back to me. Yeah. So he understands now how they're going to try to attack him, and it's going to make him better of them attacking them.
Yeah.
And fellas, it was very obvious. There was a point of emphasis this offseason on adding around Jaden Daniels, offensive line, wide receiver room. We re-signed some tight ends. Let's talk about that wide receiver room real quick because we all know Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
We added a dog in Deebo Samuel. Tanner, how do you think he helps Jaden Daniels take it to that next level?
I think, let's talk about them as a whole first. I think when you just look at all the guys that we have, when you got Deebo, you have
skinnier Luke McCaffrey.
You have Lane, you have the guys that was already here last year.
Yeah.
That room just got to the point to where we went from a year of talking about they need help to now
who's gonna make the team?
Yeah. Do we have enough balls to go around? Yeah. But when you want to talk about Deebo, he's just one of those guys that he's a mismatch waiting to happen. He's going to take so much attention off of other guys that it's just going to be crazy. And I'm sure that these guys are already, anticipating just what he brings. People sit here and talk about Deebo outside of those pads, but Deebo be turning to Deebo when he has those pads on. Yep. He's a guy that you put the ball in his hand. Now this is when you're going to see Deebo be effective, and I think that he's going to be one of those guys that just open everything up for Jaden Daniels because he don't have to worry about seeing Deebo down the field. He can give him the ball right now.
And Fred, to Tanner's point, right? It's not just Deebo. It's not just Jaden Daniels. It's the fact that they're playing in a Cliff Kingsbury. Kingsbury. What'd you call him? Kingsbury?
Kingsbury. Can I have some of them Captain Crunch Kingsberries?
And they're playing in that system right there. Fred, as a defensive back, when you look at this and all of these different weapons that Tanner mentioned, you got to be imagining that this is a tough offense to play against no matter what defense you are.
I'm a defensive player, and when we get players like Deebo in the game, we call them alert players. I mean, when they come in, we alert number one. Number one is in the game. Now, think about this. You got Austin Eckler. You got Deebo in motion. You don't know what's going on. This can change by formation. This could change everything. Like I said, when you have these type players, it changes the way that a defensive coordinator has the ability to call the defense. When we out there, I used to ask all the time, ask Greg Williams, why do we call this against Michael Vick? I can't turn my back on Michael Vick. Mm-hmm. Like he said, I don't want you to turn your back on Michael Vick, so we're going to play zone. I'm not going to let you play man. So sometimes our hands are cuffed on defense on what we can do. And when you bring in guys like Deebo, guy that can line up at running back, a guy that can line up at slot, X, Z, like wherever he wants to line up, you can move this chess piece. Mm-hmm. And I think with Cliff Kingsbury having this offensive line fortified, he's really going to show you his game calling skills right now.
And when you saw us get Deebo, you looked at that draft and said, okay, maybe they'll go other places. Are they going to go receiver? Yeah. But they went receiver again. Got him another weapon in Jalen Lane. Now, we love him because of his speed, but also his potential to return kicks and make an impact in the special teams. Tanner, you did the same thing when you were a young receiver.
And he wrote an 8 to the 3.
He did wear that 8 to the 3. How excited are you to see Jalen Lane and what he could do in this offense?
I'm very excited for him. I think he has a great chance to make an impact immediately, I think, especially from the return game. And then also when you hear the coaches talking about him throughout the OTAs period, his IQ is there. He got caught up with things very fast. Yeah. It'll be huge for him to learn every position. I know they're probably going to primarily try to place him somewhere, whether it's going to be the slot or whether it's going to be outside because you have a guy like Deebo that you can hide in the slot. Yeah. But it'll be great for him just to learn every position because when you know everything, now it's nowhere. I can put you anywhere. I can put you on the field with anybody. So I'm very excited about what his skill set brings to this team. Very explosive. He's a fearless guy. He's a fearless ball carrier.
I think he shadows Deebo. I think they put him wherever they want to put Deebo. I think they shadow him.
He's one of those guys who run the same kind of plays.
He's the twin.
Different kind of body type, but run the same kind of offense.
And before we move on to our defense very, very quickly, Luke McCaffrey. You mentioned him. You said skinny, but I think you meant to say bulked up Luke McCaffrey because, boy, he looks good.
When I say refined, let me say that. Refined Luther McCaffrey.
Because he's added a good 15 pounds of muscle. And you see he just posted a video on social, and he's putting in that work. You know those McCaffreys? Them boys know how to put in work in that offseason. So there's so many things.
I played against his daddy.
There's so many things to be excited about with this team. But it's not just the offense. It is also the defense. And it starts with that linebacker room. We are looking right now at a graphic of our linebackers. Frankie Louvu, the Tasmanian Devil. Boy, we love number 4. Then we got Bobby Wagner to combat future Hall of Famer. And then another future Hall of Famer that we just got in Von Miller.
Yes, sir.
Boy, those are some names on that list.
Hey, you know what? It's Miller time.
It's Miller time. And you know what? It's Logan London and Shawn Springs time because they are standing by, ready to break down these linebackers and this defense.
Thanks, Brian. And it's always fun to be down here on the field, like watching these drills live in living color, and to see Von Miller over here working with Ryan Kerrigan. Think about that, man. They were drafted in the same draft class. That's pretty cool. And again, like what is the expectation for him coming in? Kind of, like right before training camp started. You were telling me the other day you thought he wouldn't sign until much later in the process. But what does it mean for him signing right now?
Well, I think when you see a guy like Von Miller, he understands the importance of training camp. So him being able to have his best season. Most veteran guys, they might want to wait until the very last minute, week before training camp, week before the regular season starts to sign. But he understands, hey, how important it is to get his body physically ready from a conditioning standpoint to work with his new teammates. When you watch the tape, and I as soon as we signed him, I immediately went to the film. I'm sure you did the same thing. And I was impressed with his get-off. He still has an explosive get-off. Offensive tackles are still going to have to respect his speed coming off the edge. And so you have that element. But I think also the young guys, the other guys will be able to learn from him, learn some of the experiences and knowledge that he has to be able to pass along to those guys.
And you talk about AP had a relationship, obviously, with him, so he knew his character. So, and when a guy is thinking about picking a team, he comes to an organization he knows is going to take care of him.
Yeah.
Now, we have a high-intensity practice here, but the expectation is this guy has earned the right to give him some days, but we need you in the locker room. We need you
And they've done that with Zach. And
they've done that.
They have a history of doing that.
So you feel comfortable as a player coming to an organization where, you know what, I know my role, I know the organization, I got a great coach, and I want to be around these guys and learn my teammates so they can understand, like London said, they need to say, I can help them. I can help them be better. Right?
And it's interesting watching this individual right now and thinking about like how this team always coaches like fundamentals, right? And we're talking crash 9 techniques, hand placement, just block destruction. Like talk about day one out the gate, most important part of football.
Well, the thing is, and I was love just looking at Ryan, my former teammate, our former teammates, just listening to him coach, and he was the progression. It wasn't, hey, this is what I want you guys to do, and you're doing, 7 different sequences all at once. It was, hey, this is the first sequence. Now here's the next progression to that and things like that. You got a guy like Ryan, and you mentioned this, Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah.
Franchise leading sack artist, over 100 sacks in his career, maybe 100 total.
Yeah.
Then you got Von, a guy who has over 100 sacks in his career.
Respect.
So it's one thing, you're an outside pass rusher, and you got Von Miller and Ryan Kerrigan, 2 guys who have played this position at a high level. Frankie Louisville's going to benefit the most from having a guy like Von, because there's so much more that Von can give him in terms of technique and how to set his rushes up, things like that.
Great point.
I think all those guys are going to benefit from having a Von Miller.
You do, and London, it goes back to just the respect in the locker room, right? So when you talk about having a coach like Ryan Kerrigan, like guys come out, you want to play because you can relate to that type of coach. He's telling you something. I think what London is alluding to, he's telling you something not based on what he learned of the book.
That he's done.
Yeah. So that just translates over to like, hey, I trust my coach. I'm just gonna go full throttle with this guy, and I'm gonna do all the techniques he asked me to do. So we play well. I love seeing Frankie and Von beside each other because we might see them in a game together a lot this year.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely great. And I think the other thing that I wanted to point out here is like this seems like boring stuff. We got Joe Wood Jr. over here watching, right?
So a true professional, something that you got. I don't know if you saw.
Let's see what we got.
The drill was kind of over. Von wasn't happy with
his
reps.
Yeah.
He did one, still wasn't all the way like exactly how it should be. He did it another time. So you got a guy.
Great lesson for those out there.
Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer.
That's why.
Who took 2 extra reps because, hey, I want to get it the exact way it should be done.
And that's what you talked about being at training camp. Those are the little things as you get older in age, you might not have the legs, but you like to refine your skill set. You like to refine your skills.
And again, you talk about Ryan Kerrigan and his impact. Like right now, he's coaching the long arm, which was his move. This was his pass rush move, right? So talk about learning a move that a guy perfected over 13 years in his career and getting all those finer details. You hear him say, oh, we're going to sell speed, put the outside foot down, get that arm locked out. Like if there's one person that I wanted to teach me this, it's this move right now in this moment. And again, like you mentioned having Kerrigan, having Von, having all these guys that understand the nuance of pass rush. Like that's when it comes to life.
Is it me or Ryan when he's demonstrating the drill look like he still can go out there?
He can do it. He got that bad knee though. But that goes from. So you got a guy in Ryan who can instruct and do it one way. But Von, one of his signature moves is that long arm as well. So now, application. You got Ryan telling you, and he can demonstrate a little bit. But now you see Von Miller applying and showing guys literally some other little nuances.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, have you seen him, as you go back and you watch, that long arm, he's able to throw guys out of the club, pancake guys, whatever the case may be, and also use that swipe hands, all that. Different moves, different techniques to get to the quarterback.
Yeah. And so, I mean, man, this is incredibly exciting, watching them touch on the details, watching kind of Vaughn get integrated into this organization. And, again, this is just day one, man. And we're going to be out here covering training camp every single opportunity we have. We're going to give you that information live as often as we can. So can't wait to watch more training camp. And can't wait to be down here with you guys. The more the merrier.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to our guys on that field giving access you cannot get anywhere else. And something else you can't get nowhere else is this live look at training camp. You see the guys putting in that work, and they're all led by our guy, DQ. That's right, Dan Quinn is headed into his second season as the head coach of the Washington Commanders. And he talks about the competition he's going to get from this year's training camp.
At the start of it, competition, that's what drives training camp. And that's over the next 5 to 6 weeks. And if you really love ball and your teammates and like a really hard-ass challenge, like training camp's kind of the coolest part to do that. You can imagine a DB trying to match wits with Jaden, or being a running back in the open field against Bobby Wagner and that kind of tackle, like the guy's absolute tackling G. Can you beat him? Or a defensive end going against Laramie Tunsil, or a guard against Payne. All these little matchups helps you bring out your best going against their best. And each summer, everybody asks me, hey, what's your favorite part of training camp? And I point to that. I say, it's always the competition and seeing these matchups and seeing what goes on. And so that's why we love it so much. It's that time.
What a fun show it's been, fellas. But we heard Dan Quinn say it's all about competition at training camp.
Yeah.
Now, all y'all got to compete together at one point in time.
Yeah.
I got to ask, who was the most competitive? I got an idea that one of y'all was doing maybe a little bit too much in practice at camp. Fred, what you think?
At the end of the day, I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna compete at a high level, and that's what training camp is about. But if I can go back to one memory, I think I remember on this field right here, me and Matt Bowen taking on Chad Morton, and it got kind of physical, right? We had to whoop old Chad Morton, because that's what happens in training camp is you're going against each other over and over and over again, and sometimes you get frustrated.
Fred, you won?
Yeah, I did. I choked.
You won, London?
He said he did.
We won
here.
I wasn't here. I was the one that pulled Chad
was
off
there.
him. I pulled Chad off.
Now, Tanner.
What he didn't say, though, he said it was 2-on-1.
Yeah, exactly.
So it took 2 of y'all to get him?
No, that's the one thing about DBs. We like a pack of wolves. Like, you mess with one of us,
That's true.
you got to mess with all of us. All right? That's just the way it goes.
Cowards.
I look at it like this, though, in training camp, especially when you had the two-a-days and you were
The real two-a-days.
Yeah, and it was physical.
Yeah.
And I had this motto. I don't believe in peace treaties. I don't we don't negotiate
You don't say with terrorists.
So what I mean by that, when we step between them white lines, we teammates, but we ain't teammates.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go easy on you, and I'm not going to ask you to go easy on me. So don't come like, hey, man, can take it easy. No. No.
You can't do that with Tanner, man. If I had to push Tanner or something,
But
Tanner would have been like,
I didn't have no
don't do
motto,
that.
but I want for them to be no P.
So we could have did that with Tanner. Tanner would have been
me or
mad.
you. You know what I'm saying?
And Tanner, you can compete at a high level.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna hit you.
Yeah,
So you
no, I
probably
understand.
you didn't mind.
Well, I
I
have taken a hit from a guy too, and I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
So every now and then y'all have amnesia, and y'all go and hit one of us because somebody done ticked y'all off. But I would say, defensively as a whole, used to dominate our training camps. For some odd reason, I don't know what it was about training camp. The defense was always
No, we just started out fast.
a couple of steps ahead of the
regular
offense.
calls for
So
us.
it was always tougher for us to get on track. Our defense be flying around. I remember we get into those live periods, those team periods, and the defense just seemed to have the best of us every time.
Yeah. I think because the thing about offense is timing.
Yeah.
And at that time in training camp, y'all ain't got your timing down.
Yeah.
But us, London come to the huddle and call cover 2. We're going to run cover 2.
Yeah.
We're going to run cover 4. We've done this before, so we're going to start out fast.
Dude.
Logan, what about you?
Well, for me, every day was like life and death.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We were just talking about, like, Sean was asking me, hey, when was training camp hard for you? I was like, dude, like day one. Day one for 10 years was hard because like I was a guy that undrafted free agent, wasn't the best athlete, had to kind of find my way, and I was a guy also, Fletch, that didn't believe in peace treaties, but for a different reason because I was trying to make the team. I was trying to make dudes look bad, right? I was trying to cheat on guys, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if a guy was going easy, I was going to try and dump him in practice. Like people didn't like that, but I was trying to make the squad, I was trying to make a paycheck, and that's how I did my thing.
And training camp was very competitive for all of us because we all had these egos too. So the personalities come out. But you know what? You hate it when you got a blister or something on your foot. That's when training camp became.
It's a wrap.
No. This is what you're gonna hear from Bluefoot. Not today.
I love training camp, man, because that's when you got to work on your fundamentals.
That was the regular season too.
Now regular season, you can't Monday night. You're not gonna get Bluefoot. Man.
You know what? I cannot believe that you had an ego, Sean. I don't believe that for a second. I'm with a gang full of competitors, man. This was a lot of fun. But Sunday, we will be back live from right here at training camp, giving you everything you need to know Commanders related. For Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, London Fletcher, Sean Springs, and Logan Paulson, I'm Brian Colbert Jr. This is Command Center. We'll catch y'all live on Sunday.
This is a terrible R&B group.